Yeah, it's finally here. It's been a long time coming. We're ready to play and excited, regardless of how many people are in the stands or all the other stuff that's gone on. This is what we practice for, so we're excited. I thought we've had good practices. We told the guys after we finished today we got the full 30 in. You know, a lot of programs around the country haven't been able to get their full 30 practices in. We have. We've been fortunate in that regards. Our training staff, with Clark and Jeff Allen and team doctors have done a really good job making sure that we're able to use the time effectively. I think Jacksonville State's in a good spot too, so it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good test for us, and we're looking forward to opening the season up.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and take some questions. Let's start with Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach, you just mentioned playing the full 30. Just how are you guys from an availability standpoint? Will everybody be ready to go?
Obviously, Chiku's out for the year. The only other one that won't be playing is Javon Gary. He's been in a lot of practice stuff. We just don't feel like he's quite. And maybe they'll clear him to play a minute or a few minutes maybe. But my guess is we were kind of waiting to see how he responded these last few practices. If he doesn't play, he's very, very close. Other than that, everybody's good to go. There's little nicks here and there, people banged up a little bit, but nothing to keep anybody out of game. So we're as healthy as we can be at this stage, and we haven't had a COVID positive, I think, since August. So, matter of fact, I think our last guy that's had it comes off his 90 days because the Maui's using the 90 days instead of the 150. I think he comes off his 90 days either today or tomorrow. So it's been 90 days since we've had a positive COVID within the program.
Let's go to Cecil Hurt.
Coach, as long as it's been since you coached a game and your teams played a game, it's been another year longer than that for Javon Quinnerly. And just how do you sort of handle him emotionally for this game, because he's been away a long time?
Yeah, and really, his freshman year at Villanova, he didn't play very many meaningful minutes and very many meaningful games. So it's been a while since he's been a big part of the rotation in a meaningful game. So it's also his birthday tomorrow. So we've got his parents are in town. I talked to him after practice. They're kind of down for his first game / birthday / Thanksgiving. So it'll be emotional for him. He's been playing great in practice. I mean, he's been shooting the ball really well. I think he's ready to go. He's been guarding. His defense has been markedly improved. I think he's ready. He's been more than ready. It's been a long time coming for him. He's a really good player, obviously, and he does all the practice. He's super skilled. He's been skilled. He does all that to get to these games. So, now it's about winning, and I think his teammates are embracing him, and hopefully we can give him a big birthday present with a big win and a nice game for him tomorrow.
Okay, let's go to Jeff Spiegel.
Nate, a lot of years you don't hear a lot of buzz about Alabama basketball until at least after the Iron Bowl. But I've been hearing buzz about this team for like 2, maybe 3 months now. How good does that feel from a head coach's perspective to hear that?
No, it's great. I think it speaks to what our players have been doing. When Petty came back, I didn't even realize until a couple of weeks ago, somebody had me on a podcast. We've got the 2 leading return scorers in the SEC, and Petty and Shackelford. So then you add in a guy like Herb Jones, who I think's got a chance to be first team All-League, and you add the recruiting class, and some guys got healthy or eligible with Quinnerly and Rojas. Bruner's played. That's the other thing too. We've only got 4 returners that played in games, but they were all pretty good players. And then some of the guys added to those 4 are veteran or older guys. So it's not like we, added 8 freshmen to go with those 4 guys. Like, we've got a pretty good mix of everything. So I think it's great to hear that. Everybody told me when I got this job that this is actually a big basketball school. Obviously, it's a huge football school. They win national championships. People here are mad when they don't win a national championship in football. I think, we're not at that level, but it's been true. There's a lot of basketball fans down here too, and they're just waiting for the program, the team to beat something that they can get behind. I think we got a team they can get behind this year. I think they'll be excited. I wish we could pack 15,000 in there because I think our guys would feel the love kind of like I felt it because, they don't get to go around and talk to all the different groups, the tip-off clubs in all the different cities, and they don't get to do all that. They get to hear it out there when there's 15,000 people in there. Well, it's not going to happen this year, which is a little disappointing, but I think they'll still get it enough. I think it's exciting. I think they know there's there's just something about this team that people know, and I think we're feeling it. I think Herb Jones and Petty and Reese, those three guys that have been here for the 4 years, and then you add in Shaq, who played last year, and all the returning guys. We're ready to play. I think it'll be a team that's fun to watch too.
Let's go to Mike Rodak.
Yeah, Nate, just seeing what's happened this week at Tennessee and Florida and Ole Miss, just how much does that scare you, I guess, as far as the ability to play this season and continue, getting games together?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little concerning, even if it's not your program. Like I said, it's been 90 days since we've had a positive here. So even if it's not our, and different parts of the country are different. Like Alabama was a little bit more of a hotbed for this stuff back in the summer. And some of the guys that our guys that did get it kind of got it back when the whole state of Alabama was a little bit more of a hotbed. Now maybe it's going around different parts of the country. So I'm not so worried on our end. I think we've got a pretty good handle on this here now. Like we had to deal with it back in June and July. A little bit more worried with who we're supposed to play. Our game got moved to 7 o'clock so the SEC Network could pick it up because Tennessee's not playing. So, that's great for us, great for exposure, great for all that. But it's, Tennessee's in our league. It'd be great to see our league go out and get a bunch of quality wins, right out of the gate. I coached under Bobby Hurley. They're supposed to play Baylor. Now all of a sudden they're not playing Baylor. So it's a little concerning. I hope we can figure it out. I will say this. It's going to be really hard to have a season if everybody in the country decides they're going to shut down for 2 weeks with one positive. I don't know how you're going to play a season. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't have the answers to everything, but shutting everything down for one positive for 2 weeks, one guy gets it, 2 weeks later, another guy gets it, 2 weeks later, another guy gets it, all of a sudden you can't play a game. So they're going to have to figure this out a little bit better, in my opinion. But look, Jacksonville State's coming. They're ready to play. I texted with Ray Harper yesterday when they changed the game time. He's a guy that just wants to play games. I want to play games. At this point, I don't care who it is we play, where it is we play. We just need to play. And we're planning on playing tomorrow, and I'm praying we get all 3 games in Asheville. And they've got a really good plan too, I think, in Asheville. I just hope that these people have a plan figured out. Like, football didn't shut down with one positive. I don't know why. It sounds like some of these places in basketball are shutting everything down with one positive. I'm not quite sure that that's going to be the answer to this.
All right, we got a couple more questions. Let's start with William Galloway.
Coach, with the depth you have this year, what does the term starter mean? Because you anticipate and we anticipate that you're going to play a lot of guys. So what does the term starter really mean this season?
It's actually what I talked about the team with, to be honest with you, and I've talked about individual guys. And we've got multiple guys that could be, starters, 7, 8, 9. Like, they're going to be. I also said we're not going to start our 5 best players. Like, I kind of pulled my staff a few weeks back, and I pulled the team about who, if you came out of a under 4 media timeout with a tie game, we basically had, just under 4 minutes to play in the game, and we had to win it. Which 5 players would you have on the floor? I asked the whole staff that, had them write down theirs. I asked the whole team, had them write down theirs. Well, some of the guys that were both on the staff and the teams aren't going to end up starting, but they may finish the game. So, and there's different things to be said with that. You got to look at rotation. Some guys like to come off the bench better. I kind of talked about, I had a little kind of meeting with our seniors and talked about, some guys feel better coming off the bench. We had the big kid Nick Perkins up at Buffalo that was, sixth man of the year multiple times in his career. He was better off the bench. He liked it better. He got a feel for the game. So I don't think when we roll out our 5 starters tomorrow, they're not necessarily going to be the 5 best players, nor necessarily they're going to be the 5 guys closing the game. I think we'll figure it out as it goes through, and it's going to change from game to game as to who finishes, what's the other team playing, who's playing well, all that. I think finishing the game's probably more important than starting the game, even though you get your name called on the starting thing. But if that's what you're worried about is getting your name called in front of the fans or put your name on the TV, then you're probably in the wrong program. You probably care about the wrong stuff and probably don't deserve to start, to be honest with you. But we'll figure it out, and it may change from game to game.
All right, let's go to AP Statham.
Hey, Coach, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Say, Coach, you spoke about the rotation. Are you comfortable with like a certain number of players, maybe 10 players that you would like to have to use all the time, or does it matter to you? Or what's your philosophy about the amount of people that you like to play?
Yeah, I don't, I've never had a rotation more than about 9, maybe 10. Right now, we've got 11 available scholarship players for the game. I'm going to try my best to play all 11 of them. They're obviously not going to be equal, but as we move towards conference, it's going to have to get closer to 8 or 9. So non-conference, you can kind of give everybody a shot. Plus, we've got 4 games in 8 days. So having the depth that we have should certainly help us play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back to back to back on 3 straight days. So I'm planning on using everybody that's available scholarship-wise, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think it would be smart to get them some minutes in this game, even if it's just a small number of minutes.
All right, we got one more question. We'll go to Scott Griffin for the last question.
Hey, Nate, I had said earlier about to some people about the versatility defensively that I see with this team. I know it's not where you want it to be, but do you see that as well with your total roster, top to bottom, the ability to switch, the ability to get out on the floor, the ability to start offense from the defensive end and everything you want to do?
Yeah, much more than it was last year. When you've got guys out there that have some length, athleticism, you start with Herb Jones in any kind of defensive discussion with this team. He's an unbelievable defender, but John Petty's really stepped up his defense, and he's 6'5". Keon Ellis is 6'5". Josh Primo's 6'6". Rojas 6'7", 6'8", can switch. You've got some athleticism. I think Bruner can impact the game, defensively. I think I've made the comment before. We've got analytics company that works with us. We were 12 points per 100 possessions better on the defensive end with Herb Jones in. Yale was 18 points better per 100 possessions when Bruner was in the game. So those two together got a pretty high basketball IQ and just the length and athleticism everywhere. With our roster is what we were trying to get to, and it certainly makes it easier. You get more deflections, cover mistakes easier with blocks, able to switch more. Guys, they can't punish a mismatch on a post-up as easily when your guards are bigger. So they're not trying to do that. So I'm excited to see what we can do defensively tomorrow, almost as much as anything. Like that's where we got to make the biggest jump this year. And improvement is on the defensive end. So yeah, everything you were talking about is big, and it's a big reason why we've kind of changed the roster over like the way we wanted to get it changed over. Scott, it's nice you're making it look like you're like we're supposed to be playing. We're supposed to be playing in Maui. Yeah, I mean this week was supposed to be Maui. I think I'm supposed to be where your background is right now, sitting on that beach like today in Maui. But COVID is.
We put some Asheville mountains behind us too.
There you go.
All right, that concludes our time today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.